Wow. Wow. Do they know something we don't know? That's the question. And they usually do. They usually do. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to another episode. Get ready, stay ready. Hey, I was going to do this on something else, but I saw this article. I think it came out yesterday. I had to speak on it for all you people out there who are preppers or who love to be prepared, prepared in case of an emergency. We never know what that emergency may be, but sometimes little stories leak or not even leak, but just are put out there. Articles are put out there. Um, they really make you think. And this one here, for those of us who are still free thinkers, this one here, it really makes me think. It really makes me think. And you know what? Let's just get to it. But before I do, please like, share, subscribe if you like this comment or if you like this content, right? Um, and please comment also. I definitely appreciate you all. Now on to the story. I'm looking at this here. And it's kind of unusual for this time of the year. It really is, to be honest with you. Let me turn my phone off here. I don't want to be interrupted because I'm talking to my people here. All right, here we go. Washington Standard. According to them, why are Walmart and other major U.S. retailers canceling billions of dollars in orders as summer comes to an end? That is the question. And usually this time of the year, now, I'm not an economist. I have been a manager in some stores, but usually when you get to that last quarter of the year, because it's holiday season, and then you turn right around the beginning of the first quarter of the next season, that's like income tax season. So you're usually trying to keep inventory pretty high. I mean, maybe I'm wrong about that. You all let me know. But from my experience of being a manager in some places and just shopping in some places, inventory usually starts to get a little higher, I would say, from October on, right? Even with jobs, those who want to get a job, a part-time job or holiday gig or whatever, a lot of stores, fast food chains, whatever, hire more maybe for part-time or temporary during the last quarter of the year because they know that customers are going to be coming through the doors, sales are going to be going, through the roof. But in this particular instance here, they're saying that Walmart and other major U.S. retailers are canceling billions of dollars in orders as summer comes to an end. That's strange. It could turn out to be nothing at all. Who knows? Maybe it's a situation where they've overspent. They've ordered too much and they have to turn down some. I don't know, but it's strange. Let's just go ahead and look at the rest of the article, see what they're talking about. It says, well, do they know something that they aren't telling us? As you will see below, Walmart, Target, and other major U.S. retailers are literally canceling billions of dollars in orders ahead of the coming holiday season. I have never heard of such a thing happening before, and under normal conditions, it wouldn't make any sense at all. The holiday season is typically the busiest time of the year for retailers, and at this time in 2021, there was actually a great deal of concern that there wouldn't be enough inventory due to global supply problems. Yeah, you know what? That is true. This time last year, people were concerned about it being enough. Like we were concerned about shortages. Of course, we're still concerned about shortages, but going into the last holiday season of 2021 of this past year, people were concerned. Like, are there going to be enough supplies? Is there going to be enough food for Thanksgiving or Christmas or whatever other holiday you celebrate uh, in the months of October, November, December? Would there be enough toys? They're concerned about toys coming from that are made and electronics that are made in the big Asian country. Will we be able to get them? supply chain issues. People were literally concerned about that. How would they be able to enjoy their holidays? How would they be able to enjoy their Christmas or whatever other holiday you celebrate? Um, but now that doesn't seem to be a concern. The concern seems to be now that they may have over ordered. Their eyes were bigger than their stomach. That's my mom used to always tell me when I would eat as a younger kid, and I would eat and eat and eat till I make myself sick, basically. Gluttony, let's be honest. Um, and I would go to bed with a belly ache, sometimes even a headache. Um, my mom would always tell me, "Hey, boy, your eyes are bigger than your stomach, right? Is this just the case their eyes are bigger than their stomach? I don't know." But it goes on to say that, but but now everything has changed. All of a sudden, major retailers are feverishly canceling orders, and this would only make sense if a severe economic downturn was imminent. So there's a possibility. For example, Walmart is admitting that it has canceled "quote unquote" billions of dollars in orders as we approach the upcoming holiday season. John David Rainey, Walmart's EVP and CFO, said it had cleared most summer inventory, was reducing exposure in electronics, home, and sporting goods, and canceled billions of dollars in orders to realign inventories. He said, quote, "Our actions in Q3, will allow us to make significant progress toward rationalizing absolute levels and mix, which will enable our stores to be well positioned ahead of the holiday season," unquote. I'm not for sure what I get out of all of that, but sometimes they complicate things that should be um, simple. Basically, at the end of the day, they're still canceling billions of dollars of orders. And at no time do I remember in recent history where they've had to do this, regardless if they're, what did he says, realign inventories, you know, rationalizing absolute levels and mix so they can be well positioned ahead of the holiday season. Yeah, I mean, I understand what he's saying, but the problem with that is when have they done this in the past? Let me know if you all know. Maybe you all know something. Maybe you work at Walmart. Maybe you're a Walmart manager. Maybe you know someone who works at Walmart that's a Walmart manager or regional manager, district manager, whatever. Let me know. But I don't remember them doing this anytime in the recent past, in recent history. Goes on to say, it is extremely odd that Walmart would decide to do such a thing. Recently, I had an opportunity to stroll through a Walmart, and there were plenty of inventory holes. See, let's stop. Well, so what would make them suddenly cancel "quote unquote" billions of dollars in orders that they thought they were going to need for the holiday season? So I love the way they put it here. This person said that they recently had an opportunity to stroll through a Walmart and there were plenty of inventory holes. Absolutely. I don't shop Walmart a lot, but when I do go in there in recent history, which I mean by that this year, obviously, maybe the past few months or whatever, there's been gaps. There have been holes. So it's not like they were so fully stocked or inventory was so high that they didn't have anywhere to put anything. No, there were plenty of holes, plenty of gaps. So yeah, it is a little bit odd. As the writer here worded it, it is extremely odd. Perhaps some enterprising reporter would be willing to ask them such a question. Meanwhile, we just learned that Target, uh, we just learned that Target has also canceled "quote unquote" more than $1.5 billion in orders. Target said it had reduced its inventory exposure in discretionary categories throughout Q2 by canceling more than $1.5 billion of orders in these categories and marking down products. Wow. So marking down products. So they're basically saying that we need to get rid of some of these products, mark the prices down so we can get them out the inventory. Maybe I'm wrong on that. But Target is much smaller than Walmart is. And so for Target to cancel so many orders is a really big deal. Yeah. I mean, they have a point that Target is much smaller than Walmart. Um, I don't know. I mean, it's just one of those things that's why we have channels like mine. That's I would ask you guys and ladies to continue to support the channel here and other channels too that help people out, in the emergency preparedness sector, I guess you can say. Goes on to say, and it turns out that Kohls and Under Armour have also been canceling large numbers of orders as well. Kohls has also pulled back on order receipts and increased promotions to get through an inventory glut. Hmm. We have taken action to address the inventory, including increasing promotions, being aggressive on clearing excess inventory, and pulling back on receipts, unquote, said Kohls CFO Jill Tim in a call with investors. Wow. Under Armour also said it made some proactive cancellations due to supply chain constraints to ensure that the right inventory was coming in at the right time. Oh my goodness. This is hmm. And we're not talking about little mom and pop shops or companies here. We're not talking about, bottom of the barrel or, companies here. We're talking about Walmart, Target, Kohl's, and Under Armour. Like all of those particular retailers are top level. These retailers are obviously scared that they will end up stuck with massive amounts of inventory that they cannot sell. Do they believe the economic activity during the months ahead will be much lower than they originally anticipated? That's what we all want to know. That question right there. Do they believe that economic activity during the months ahead will be much lower than they originally anticipated? What do you all think on that? It goes on to say, one corporate executive that is actually publicly admitting that he believes that a recession is coming is FedEx CEO Raj Subramaniam. FedEx CEO Raj Subramaniam told CNBC's Jim Cramer on Thursday that he believes a recession is impending for the global economy. Quote, I think so, but these numbers, they don't pretend very well. Subramaniam said in response to Cramer's question of whether the economy is going into a worldwide recession. The CEO's pessimism. So he's a pessimist when it comes to this. The CEO's pessimism came after FedEx missed estimates on revenue and earnings in the first quarter. Wow. Um, this is so that's another huge company there that is kind of pessimistic about the future, economic future. Sadly, he's right on target. For months, I have been warning that the economic numbers were telling us that big trouble was on the way, and now everyone can see it. Yeah, that's the one thing I've always said is you have to make sure you have to make sure you relying on good sources and timely sources or resources for your news and information, because usually by the time we actually find out about it, we're probably like 6 months behind schedule, right? That's one thing I've learned. But unlike the Great Recession of 2008 and 2009, this time we're also going to have to deal with raging inflation, even as economic activity slows down all around us. In fact, the Wall Street Journal is ominously warning that U.S. consumers are set to pay even more this winter as heating costs continue to soar to absolutely ridiculous levels. Yeah, it's wow. I know personally my electric bill just skyrocketed, and I don't see I don't see where we used any more electricity. I'm the type of guy that goes to the house, turn off lights. This light's not being used, off. You know, this piece of these electronics over here is not being used, off. You know, that's just the way I do to try to keep the electric bill down, right? But no, people are paying more right now. for AC during the summer, and that cost may actually jump more for heating during the winter. So we'll see. U.S. utility customers faced with some of the largest bills in years, look at that, are set to pay even more this winter as natural gas prices continue to climb. Natural gas prices have more than doubled this year because of a global supply shortage made worse by the war in Ukraine, and they are expected to remain elevated for months as fuel is needed to light and heat homes during the winter. The supply crunch has made it substantially more expensive for utilities to purchase or produce power, and those costs are being passed on to the customers as they usually are. What else it says? The cost of living has been rising much faster than our paychecks have for quite some time now, and a lot more pain is on the horizon. I really like how Brendan Smith recently summarized the current state of the US economy. A common refrain from people who are critical of alternative economists is that we have been predicting crisis for so long that eventually we will be right. These are generally people who don't understand the nature of the economic decline. It's like an avalanche that builds over time. Yeah. Then breaks and quickly escalates as it flows down the mountain. What they don't grasp is that they are in the middle of an economic collapse right now. Look, he capitalized right now. And they just can't see it because they have been, oh man, into the presence of the snow and cold. Wow. Economic decline is a process that takes many years. And while you might get an event like the market crash of 1929 or the crash of 2008, these moments of panic are nothing more than the wreckage left behind by the great wave of tumbling ice that everyone should have seen coming far in advance, but they refuse. See, there are people out there who always have an emergency plan. They're always prepared for an emergency. They're always prepared for an SHTF. Um, Regardless of what that event may be, you're always prepared for it. Can we and are we prepared enough for this one? If the economy is going to be bad as some people predict, and not only is it going to be, as they said, a recession, but it's going to be a recession with inflation at its highest ever. Or I think it's like highest in like 40 years, if I'm not mistaken. Um, are we ready for it? That's the question. Because you would think we've had all this time, considering what's happened over the past 2.5 years, and even going back before that. Maybe 2008 should have taught us some lessons. So I would think that maybe we have had time to prepare. So let's just hope most of us are prepared. And I really think to make it through this, first of all, you're going to need God first, but we're going to need community. We're going to need community. That is so true. We are already in the midst of a raging economic crisis, but things will get much worse during the months and years to come. Walmart, Target, and other major retailers are working really hard to get prepared for what is coming. Are you? I love that question. Can I read that sentence again? I think I will. Walmart, Target, and other major retailers are working really hard to get prepared for what is coming. Are you? Are we? Because I include myself in it too. I have to get prepared just like everyone else. I hope so, because at this point, it should be glaringly obvious to everyone that exceedingly challenging times are on the way. So, looking at this article, what do you all think? What do you think? Do they know something that we don't know? And the question they just asked here at the end, they're preparing. Are you? That's the question. That is the question. Because if we're not prepared right now, first of all, it's not too late. So if someone's telling you right now that it's too late, no, it's never too late. You may be behind schedule, but go out and start doing something. I don't care if that's just one little act a day to get prepared for what could possibly be coming. I don't care if you pray, you go to grocery store, get an extra can of this, get an extra pack of batteries, get whatever it may be. We can all do something. Get out and talk to your neighbors, your like-minded neighbors and friends and family. And the strange part about it is sometimes you can have friends or neighbors that are like-minded when there are family members who aren't even like-minded. And those are going to be the ones that are going to be the hardest or the most difficult to deal with, is the family members who are not like-minded. If you have friends or neighbors who are not like-minded, no big deal. You can just, honestly, you can pretty much just cast them off. Most people probably think that way. But you still have people out here who are related to us, who are family members, that are like, this will all just blow over. And it may, but it never hurts to be prepared. Things that we need, like food, water, uh, clothing, shelter, some things you'd rather have too much of than to have not any at all. Food is one of that. Uh, gas is another. A source of electricity, a source of water, a source of protection. Those are things we'd rather have too much of than not have it all. So let me know what you all think about. Please like, share, subscribe. And as always, get ready, stay ready. God bless.